Welcome back to our Better Angels. This is Case 2, still part 9, entitled Wishful Thinking. At the end of last session, the group was engaged in conflict with three creepy dogs, kind of jellyman dogs, and a single individual. They've been having a rough time of it, but they are showing promise. It looks like the goal for our uh, electronics dork or technician, if you don't want to use like call him a dork, was to try and get to the strange batteries that he was unaware of what their purpose was, shut those off in hopes that whatever was happening here would stop. On pressing the button, a okay, let's try again. I hate, I hate it. I hate it. Why does it do it sometimes? It was showing. Okay,
I'm
do I
hearing
have?
sound, John.
Okay,
I'm
we
hearing
have
sound.
volume now.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, pressed a button. Time was supposed to be reverted. You saw me saying it. I wasn't actually being heard. Um, they are well aware of that time jump, what happened in reality, and what is currently present. It's not forgotten. It's not something that was put off. But for Arthur Haynes, in that moment, he saw something different. The thing he saw was him in another. People have been saying existence. We'll say that for now, since it's the current zeitgeist idea of what is happening here. Um,
No.
where he was being scolded by a friend and also a producer, effectively someone who was an investor in him, um, for having messed up again. And he was once again in a bed where he was wounded, as was the end of case 1. Time apparently reverted back 3 to 5 seconds, and they are in the moments prior to the button press. Now, as I described, Arnie, it is your initiative, just as if you had taken the initiative last time. So, in this moment, you are spending your movement to get to the position where you would press the button, but you have not pressed the button. But you see what happens when you press the button. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can continue your turn as you like. I presume half your movement's still allowed to you if you wish to engage with it. Um, feel free.
Okay, so is this before he falls off the...
Yeah, nobody's died.
Okay, then I'm going to hold there.
Okay. So, kind of like curiously just staring at the button, kind of having the shock revelation. It felt so real. Like you could hear the snap of the spine. You could see the gun break inside of Stan's hand and like break his throat with the slide of it. Like these are all moments that were very visceral and very tangible and vivid. So as you do that, we'll go to Riley. Um, you were prepared to attack, but keeping in mind everything that happened last session, the last round of last session, you are aware of.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, one more beat. Sorry, try to back up. The other thing I wanted to make sure that was clear is Arthur's vision, where Arthur was in bed and seeing Henry Fitzgerald from the bed in the dark room. Henry ancient old with a cane scolding him. You don't know who Henry Fitzgerald is, unless you do. Let's check your stats real quick. Again, he had like a 90 percentile fucking wealth. I mean, people know who that guy is.
He'd have been heard of.
Yeah, if
And
somebody,
he had a 99 percentile.
well, well, if he has, I'd say, what is it? What would it be? It'd be like an education in kind of.
Be like if
History?
he'd ever heard of Rockefeller.
What'd you say? Was it, Jody?
History.
History, I'd be okay with history, but if you feel more comfortable doing like let's see, maybe a credit rating roll.
I would be better at that.
It wouldn't increase your credit rating. But, I would say I'd go with just an intelligence roll. Everything being as it is, it may be the case that he's been talked about on the news or in the news. Okay, great. So Henry Fitzgerald is a known figure. Okay, he's a textiles magnate who earned quite a bit of wealth, and he's a bit of an eccentric who has, in these last few decades, been very opposed to a lot of, well, the Pinkertons name mainly, but also a lot of other esoteric societies that have, similar to the society that you're in right now, that are basically trying to popularize the idea of the occult and also sell it.
That would be confusing, but okay.
But there he is scolding Arthur. The same lines I gave last session, basically telling him that, and then old Arthur saying there's work to be done. Wasn't it textiles?
It was land development.
Land development. Oh, okay. I thought it was textiles. Who's a textiles magnate?
No, he was planning to buy up a lot of the properties around Arkham and
Not getting it wrong, because there's no confusions anymore.
whatever the other I genuinely forgot all the Bico.
Yes, FICO. Well, it has shifted a couple times too, but yes.
He did make claims intending to when he met the mayor of Bico, whether that be the name or not, making interest in purchasing lands to develop the railroads
Sure.
in the area.
Well, I do want to make sure that it's very clear that that reality, as you understand it, is reality. Like, there's no not that. So, it'll make sense, hopefully, in a beat. But, so you would know who Henry Fitzgerald is. Very rich, well-to-do guy. Land development.
He dabbled in a lot of things.
Also textiles.
Sure, yeah, he probably had a plant or two.
Sure.
Mill.
Okay, mill, fine. So, right?
If he's gonna do it, he's gonna go all the way.
He's getting a whole
Same.
plant. So what are we doing, Riley?
Let's see.
So we're clear. Riley and Stan both had like premonitions of their own death after what they attempted last time. Okay,
100%.
We didn't have to make a sanity roll, or we did?
And
we did, and I think I failed.
yeah, those have already been dealt with.
Okay,
Wow.
I didn't remember if I did or not. I just want to make sure.
But to clarify, there, premonitions of your own death, not so much just a premonition, but an actual realization of it, like the event
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So whatever you think death would be like, that's what happened.
Okay. Well, I don't imagine I'm gonna be much help anywhere else anyway. So I'm probably just still gonna swing on him.
Okay.
And still fail somehow.
Okay. Not as bad as last time.
No.
When
Yeah.
you swing and he ducks low and you're about to kind of hit the rail and go over, like, because he was batting the weapon away and it kind of threw you ass over.
Oh yeah,
the
it's
camera.
brass knuckles.
Oh yeah, sorry. When you punch and he kind of knocked your arm
Yeah.
over and you flew over, right?
Yeah, okay. Make sure I had 13.
There. You don't do that. You manage to kind of position your foot place yourself against the low railing and not fly over. Like you understand it's coming. It's almost as if that kind of preparedness, being ready for that inevitability in your mind, was the reason that your punch faltered. And it's as punching has a rate of fire of 2, I think. So I think you can swing again. Does it? Or am
That's
I
his
thinking-
attacks 1.
I
Okay,
think it's one.
Oh.
Cyberpunk.
It's a shame.
Sand Dukes, you are up. The dog jumped up,
So he experienced the dog leaping at him, him
pulling the gun on him,
dropping the rifle, drawing his sidearm, and firing at the dog once,
and then the gun breaking.
and then a violent death.
Yep.
He's still going to attempt the pistol, but
Okay.
I think he's going to try for the rapid fire 3.
Okay.
So these are 3 with disadvantage or
Yeah.
penalty.
And you have you don't need to roll any penalty or bonus because you're adjacent, so you'd have a bonus as well. So they're just gonna be straight.
Okay, there's one
bang,
extreme
bang,
in there.
bang. Okay. Go ahead and click the the damage is already there. Cool. So the first shot misses, and you kind of like pull the weapon to the side, kind of in that inevitability, and then you kind of focus it inwards and shoot a second shot, which hits the dog right down through the center of it, and it kind of jelly mold into the corner of the rail and the rooftop. So
Ugh.
it's like just, and then the second shot obviously misses because there's no target. Okay. You kind of look at the gun to check it, inspect it, like a quick glance, look at it, and the slide you can see is fine. That first round, though, on the ground, when you look at it, it looks like the casing is kind of like almost rusted
Warped.
black.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll use movement to sort of provide cover to Artie over here.
Okay. You kind of look at him, and there's kind of a momentary understanding, like Arnie's confused looking at the button, and you're walking over, and you kind of get the vibe that the button had something to do with that. Okay, so at the bottom of the initiative, because Arthur shifted up, and Stan, you're at the top now because of gun shooting, but it won't be important because there are no more dogs. No, there are no more dogs. Yeah, this one should be
Yeah,
good.
there's just the zombie.
Okay, so perfectly fine. But at the bottom of the initiative, something important happens. Erica, you have a flash.
Yeah.
It's like you're in that Arthurverse again,
Mhm.
for lack of a better term of what we're looking at. But there's no large creatures walking around. There are lights in the sky above you,
Mhm.
hundreds of them, that seem to be kind of pressing against some invisible membrane that lights up when they touch it.
Yeah.
You see a massive finger that has more digits than a human finger push down and pierce through the membrane and come into what you would understand as like directly above the radio tower.
Oh.
So we see a giant finger coming through, or just Erica?
She sees all of the lights. She sees a membrane. She sees the finger and kind of what it's attached to. Everyone else sees a finger appear in the sky and start moving to touch the radio tower. And Arthur, you're up.
Did I have to make a sanity roll for that vision that I had?
I thought we already did this, but
Okay, that's cool. I just because
I
if
think
I
we
hadn't,
did.
I definitely would want to. And he's shaken, and he would say, "Did I to Erica? Did I cause all this? Is this my fault? I can't let you die because of my mistake." And he would sort of step in front of her and fire at the zombie.
Okay.
He's not very good at weapons, but he's going to do it anyway.
Do you want to spend 12 luck?
Yes, I'll spend 12 luck and I'll hit.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
It catches it in the shoulder. It's almost like if somebody like dropped a jelly mold for you. Like it kind of pops and a little bit of sprinkle, like the liquid kind of pops off and catches you, Riley. But yeah, it just kind of a graze across the shoulder. All right, Arthur, done. Erica up?
She would stand up from where she's been like crouched down and hiding. I think that we actually need to go in and help them, and she'll kind of glance up where the membrane and finger was, because it was just like a flash,
Oh,
right?
you can see it still.
Oh, I
It-
can still
yeah.
see it.
So imagine the membrane exterior, like for you.
Yeah,
You're seeing the Arthurverse
yeah,
on the excess of the membrane. You are seeing something connected like a hand to a large
yeah,
finger piercing that membrane and trying to touch the tower. You are
yeah,
seeing hundreds of lights, which are the angels that we've seen.
yeah.
But everything inside the membrane is unchanged. For
Okay.
everyone else, big finger in the sky. Only thing they can see. Does anybody have any questions on the
Okay.
current state of things? I just want to make sure it's very clear optically. Okay. No
How
question.
far away is the finger?
I would say
To the
If
tower?
it's at the top of the tower.
size-wise, it's probably about 50 feet long.
No, how far away?
No,
is it
yeah, I
from
know. I
touching
just
the
want to make
tower?
sure we're clear on like position. So it's about
Scale.
50 feet long, and it's extended fully through. So it's like to the knuckle, or what you'd presume is a knuckle, and it's maybe 100 or so feet away from the top of the tower.
Oh God. Yeah, she'd still want to like try and at least like get them, like go in and get them away from the tower.
Okay, so if you move
So,
over to the chain and kind of dash through it, you could probably be like right inside, just because of positioning and also the necessity to kind of
like
reach through
right
the chain.
here.
Yeah, it's like right here. Is
Wait,
that
which
flashing?
side? Which side?
Oh,
Oh, okay,
we're
that
looking at the
side.
top.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at the top map because nobody's gone inside.
Okay. So yeah, then I'd dash to over there
Okay.
and kind of yell like, "We should get out of here. We should get out of here."
Hmm. Arthur's kind of out of it, but yeah, he'll follow you.
Okay. So, the zombie creature, the jelly man, will reach out to try and grab a hold of Riley. Go ahead and make a dodge roll.
Can't fail this.
Yeah.
Got
So that's more than enough. I
Yeah.
didn't succeed. I'm doing bad on dice rolls. When it tries to grab you, it's very unsuccessful, but its face starts to shift, like it does the thing in like happened in the manor house. It kind of peels down, but as you watch, it kind of like swing and miss in this kind of angered, distorted state. After it swings, it kind of looks upwards and then kind of stares back to you, and you watch as half of the face kind of scoops back up and starts to form your face.
Oh.
Downstairs, you hear a as the door opens, and you hear the singing voice of one of the other jellymen come out of the downstairs, and I guess phrasing. And a second one standing in the door. Both are singing. And as they come out, their faces are kind of slowly falling apart, and they're looking up into the sky, almost as if they're singing upwards at it, at the finger. That is it for them. Arnie, you are up.
So I found out when I hit the button, it shuts them off.
Mhm.
I want to try to overload them, to overload the
Ooh,
power.
cool.
Okay. That is an interesting idea that I don't know if I prepared for, but fun. Shit happened in
Chody's too smart.
the shit happened in
Very
the last
cool.
game. The shit happened in the last game too. And Kate, it's like, what if I stand in between the mirrors, creating a mirror?
John, you got to get good.
It's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. It'll make case 3 very different than I initially planned. Probably. Let's see how it works. Go ahead and make a mechanical repair check. I'm gonna need a hard success.
I got a lot of luck.
You want to spend all of it? Do you have?
I got 58 luck.
That's not enough. Not for
That
this.
won't
Still
work.
not a hard success. You need like 5.
Oh, that's
You
right.
need to get under half to get a hard.
Bummer.
If you're doing
So
that,
he's saving you from wasting the luck at least.
yeah.
Okay,
If you're
that's
doing that and you're kind of messing around with it, is Stan a mechanically minded guy?
Hell no.
I will
I
allow.
think he changed the tire once.
I will allow for because of that statement. He changed a tire once. Arnie, if you do ask Stan for help, if Stan wants to use his action for helping you, I will grant you a bonus dice. But otherwise,
I mean, it's one of those things how I would, if he came over and was covering me, I would be saying, I'm going to try to overload the batteries.
and
Cutting it off, rewound time.
And
I think we need to.
you ask him for help, is what I'm asking.
I would ask, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Zach, that's on the plate for you if you want to use your action to help. Otherwise, it's shoot at.
Okay. And he's gonna take another try at it
Well, yeah, on his turn.
at his turn.
Yeah, not yet though. So Riley, you're up. You're still fighting the zombie. Looking at the situation that you're currently dealing with, it does look like where he started, the guy, was kind of over here by what looks like a glorified fuse box. Actually, sorry, this is the glorified fuse box here inside the space. But you can step in between. It'll just take you one extra space of movement, I'd say, because of a little bit more narrow because of the bars. But yeah, that's what he was fucking with. Was underneath. You'd also know that there's probably something up top, which will require quite a bit of climbing. That would be like connected to the antenna as well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll go
Climbing.
to the fuse box
Okay.
and just see what I'm looking at here.
You pop it open, and inside it has 3 switches, and 2 of them are bright green lights above them, and then one of them is kind of a pulsing yellow light. It looks like the lights have there's like 3 different lights above each switch, so
Yep.
it's kind of almost like a stop light, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it does look like these switches are like breaker switches, fuse switches.
Okay. Man, that's a tough decision. Do I turn them all off or do I turn the blinking yellow one into green? I know this is probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna see if I can flip the blinking yellow one to green.
Okay. So when you do, your vision, Erica, of the membrane, you watch as it almost seems like it's almost cartoony, right? The best way to describe it is, have you seen Rocky Horror Picture Show?
No, yeah, I have.
Okay. You know how the guns at the end like have that like really cheap like kind of like lightning effect?
Yeah.
That starts emanating out from the membrane.
Oh God.
You watch as the finger recoils in pain.
Okay.
And the zombie kind of near you kind of turns its attention, Riley, as you throw that switch, and you look over and you watch as its face shifts into you for a second, but then you watch as it shatters like glass and the whole creature just kind of drops into. Basically, it almost looks like taffy, or like hard tack candy, like taffy that's gone like really hard and brittle, or like it looks like it's just chunks now. That happens to that one. The other 2 are still singing, staring up into the sky. Okay, Riley, anything else? Do you want to move at all, or?
As much as I would like to climb this tower immediately, I feel like staying at the switches is maybe the best idea.
Better make a power check.
Okay.
I forgot you were cursed.
I fail.
You want to climb the tower. You feel like you will be the hero if you do so.
I'm climbing the tower then.
And then perhaps
The
jump
only way
off
to
of.
be safe.
Nope.
And then perhaps jump off of.
See, the switch thing was great because if I opened it up and there was like wires or something, I was just gonna unload every bullet in my gun into it.
I'm not safe enough at this altitude.
Okay.
I shall climb tower.
I would say
I
with
need to be 100 feet safer.
I would say with the speed that you've got available and the moving through the kind of metal structure of the tower, You're probably only about 5 feet off of it, so you haven't even really ascended into like the guarded section of the ladder. You know how they have that like first portion that's open air, and then there's like the So Stan, you hear Arnie. You look across the way. You see kind of like a something happen over there. You don't see what Erica sees with the weird.
I don't think I can even see Erica from where I'm standing.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
Well,
probably not.
I mean to say, you don't see the bubble. You don't see the weird lightning. You just see something happened over where Riley was. The zombie thing over there breaks, and then you see Riley start to climb up the tower. Looking down, you see the two zombies that came out of the power or the control station, and Arnie's asking you to help. What would you like to do in your turn?
I hope you know what you're doing. I help him. Do I need to make a roll?
Not at all. So on your roll, Arnie, you will have a bonus dice. Basically, you have an extra pair of hands, potentially stronger hands, so you can kind of do some things that you weren't able to do. Arthur, you see Erica rush in, say, "We need to get out of here," yelling to everybody. You also see the zombie you just shot at, Riddle break, and you see Riley start to climb the tower.
Yeah, he would follow behind Erica
Erica.
for sure.
Okay.
And shamble along a little bit, yeah.
I would say you could probably get right behind her because of the leg stage status. Next turn, it's going to take you a lot of your movement just to get through the chain link fence, because remember, it's just cut enough, so you have to
Yep.
pop that bad boy open. Erica, you can move if you'd like.
What?
Nothing. There was a GIF posted, and I don't get.
It was the place exploding when I put the batteries together. That's what it's supposed to be. But now that I see it,
is
it
That's
looks
exactly
very
what it
gross.
looks like. It's
So I
exactly
am
what
sorry.
it looks like.
Now that I'm
Oh.
looking at it closer, I feel kind of bad. I apologize.
I didn't know it was liquid. So Erica,
You did
That
great.
was
You
my
did nothing
mistake.
I
wrong.
apologize.
you did okay.
Since I can't see the guys who are on top of the building, I'm gonna head towards the radio tower where Riley is.
Okay. If you want to rush it, you can double your movement.
I think I can get up to here.
Perfect. So Riley, you kind of
Damn.
look.
And shouting at Riley, like, "We need to go!"
Riley, do you respond as you're climbing?
No, I gotta get to the top and stop it. There's a switch box down there you can keep turning off and on.
What? And that's it.
Okay.
Can't hear you over the blood rushing in my ears.
They continue singing, and their singing seems to be more focused, and their eyes kind of descend down to look at Riley. It's creepy, the singing. It's very eerie. But something about it, Riley, is nostalgic. Think about a song in your childhood. Think about a song that kind of like, defines your, best years. Whatever that song would be, there's something about this song that's being sung that's empowering you. You feel uplifted. You wish to go faster. At this point, you have 3 options, and they're very choice specific, and you can choose all 3 or not. So, choice number 1. At this point, you can switch your luck and your sanity
Okay,
if you wish.
I'm good.
Those can't be that vastly different right now.
Right? What is...
they both got to be single digits. Am I wrong?
No, I got 6 sanity and 40 luck.
Oh wow. Okay, good
Are
for
you
you.
sure you do not want to switch them?
Oh no, it's so much better if he goes insane. It's like the
Okay.
whole.
I just want to make sure
He's
that
already climbing.
we're clear. You're making these choices. I'm not making these choices for
If he
you.
got sudden clarity now, he'd panic.
Okay.
Yo.
Choice number 2. You can switch your luck with your hit points.
Yes.
Okay. So if you do that, your hit points cannot exceed your hit point maximum.
Oh, I thought it was like switching out maxes.
No.
He just turned into a
okay.
tank.
That's what I was thinking.
There are Eldritch Horrors
I've
that
got
have less
30
hit points
temporary hit points.
There are Eldritch Horrors
That'd
that
be
have
rad,
less
though.
hit points than that. No, basically, if you had like 50, the maximum hit points of 12 would still be the max. So you just set it to 12.
Oh, okay. Then can I say no to that?
You can.
Okay, I will say no to that.
Okay. Last but not least, your movement is currently.
7, right?
You said what?
7.
7.
Movement rate 7.
You can expend 3 points of luck to increase your movement for the next turn by 1. So each 3 points of luck you spend, you will increase it by 1. And there is no cap here. They were asked to.
I will do that.
Okay.
I will spend all 40 points or whatever. Yeah, be 39 or 13 extra points of luck. I mean, or not luck,
13
but,
points
movement.
of movement. So your movement during the
So
next
it'd
turn will
be
be
20.
20.
Yep.
Okay, supernaturally so. Okay, you feel eldrically empowered and emboldened. Arnie, you're up on the thing. You're getting ready to overload it. Mechanical repair check. I need a hard success. You have a bonus dice. 36. You need a 5. I need 31 points of luck from you to make this happen.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Nice.
It is done.
Legit.
Timing is important. It will not do the thing it's supposed to do until the end of the initiative, similar to last time. There's a cycle. Riley,
I'm booking it up this tower.
you are at the top of the tower, my friend. You still have an action. You see at the top of the tower, this is what it looks like. It is a slightly taller kind of like antenna structure, another fuse box, a couple of radios, and there's also a horn speaker there, like a siren. This would be for like tornado warnings and shit.
Okay, I'll open the fuse box.
Okay. Inside, you see 2 lights. One is green and one is flashing yellow.
Flipping that one to green.
Okay.
As a,
Go ahead.
can I say something as a free action?
You can.
I want to tell everybody, I'm like, it's overloading. I can feel them heating up. We need to get out of here quickly.
Okay.
That's what I've been saying.
Listen to the lady.
As you
We weren't
say
successful then.
as you
Are
say
we
that,
inside though?
almost like a blur of person, you watch Riley straight up like climb. Like it does the Snake Eater song, and it's like someone put it on fast forward ×5, just and he's up there, and then he flips the switch. When he flips the switch, Erica, you watch as the membrane starts pulsing more like electricity, comical electricity. And you watch as the lights outside each are snuffed out. The membrane seems to be holding. That finishes. Stan, you finish assisting. You have the last action before shit kind of goes off the scales here. So, what would you like to do, Stan? For purposes for what you're looking at, the batteries are starting to kind of like there's like a static
You
to
can
them.
feel heat coming off them.
It
There's a
very
hum
much
to it.
It very much feels like this is not a safe place.
If they're normal batteries, you can feel heat coming off them.
They are not normal batteries, but the same is true. They are definitely emanating heat.
What's action economy for swapping weapons?
Just do it.
Okay. I'm gonna grab up the rifle and at least take a pot shot at this guy
Okay.
nearest to me. I don't know what the singing does, but I'm assuming it's antithetical to what we're doing, so I'd like to stop it. So I will spend 1 luck.
That'll be a hit. 14 damage will scoop it. Which one? The one closest you said?
Yes.
Okay, hit. You basically straight the top of the skull plate. It goes right through the guy, ballistics gel style. It pushes him straight through. He falls into a puddle of gelatin, effectively, and How many of the gift swaps did you accept, Brent? Just one, right?
Just one.
Okay. You're going to go ahead and lose a point of sanity.
Oh,
As you
Good.
feel the song skip and the static again, but to a higher degree at this point. Okay. And then do you have any movement, Stan, or are you holding?
Yeah, slinging the rifle over my shoulder, saying to Arnie, like, "Hey kid, you might want to get skedaddling," and movement towards the ladder.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm going to pause you for a second. You already used your action, but I will explain it to you so you understand. Like saying that you're pretty sure, just based on the nature of this, Arnie doesn't have a very large chance for escape because he's kind of in there, still pulling himself out in the mechanical part of it.
Jeez.
I unsling the rifle.
Leave me!
Hell no. We've got a fight to win, kid.
Okay. You hold your position. All right.
Gladly.
In that moment, a real rider died. That's Zach, by the way. Or that's Stan, even. Both. All of the above. In that moment that the override kind of builds up, and it builds up a lot quicker than you were anticipating, Arnie. You watch as the metal casings begin to rupture and a brilliant white hot light sears out from them. When it contacts you, you don't even feel it. But you realize that you have moved away from a substantial portion of your body in a very quick amount of time. It severs you in half, Arnie. You're looking at your legs fall to the ground in a bright white knocking over my cups, and don't make gestures with your hands when you're talking. A bright white hot light. In that moment as well, Riley, you flip the switch, feel the ping, and then the power box sparks and explodes and sparks. The force of it sends you backwards out over the railing and the ladder, and Erica, you watch as he hits the railing of the tower below, just smashed in half. You see the membrane descend.
Oh no.
Stan, the one screaming its song, screams like angrily and turns its head towards you and points up at you. And in this moment, as you are about to be kind of burst out as well, its face twists to look like yours.
What?
And then none of that happened. Arnie, you are about to do the last thing that's going to be necessary for you to break the device. And in this initiative count, starting with Arthur, Erica, you saw the membrane dissipate. It's no longer present. And you watch as a whole hand with twisted digits descends down from the sky. And it's moving with such speed that you're pretty sure that it will grab the tower in this moment, in like the next round.
Oh, I'm booking it down.
Okay, fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
is
you
it
rush.
my turn? Is
Yeah,
it my turn though?
It's Arthur's.
Okay.
You're
So
still outside
did
the
Arthur
chamber.
have that? Did he see that thing where there was the flash and?
So yeah, good question. This is actually a good point of order, because from your perspective, what you'd see is an explosion, a violent kind of white hot explosion at the top of the building, kind of causing it to break apart, and then
No, from the right hand side, not from the left hand side.
yeah, you're looking straight up at it. This is where the explosion happens.
Okay.
It's happening. It's all happening around Arnie.
Okay. Is this fence get throughable over here?
No,
No.
Only where like you're at.
this is the only
Only
place
where
you can
I'm
go
at.
through the fence,
Right.
and it takes you half your movement to muscle through.
Shit. Okay, he's gonna cry out, Erica! And he's gonna start struggling through the fence.
Okay.
So I can get how far can I get then?
So whatever your move is, half it, round down, and then you can move your speed.
Where's your move?
Combat.
In combat.
Oh, it's in combat. Thanks.
And I think we already
Movement rate
reduced.
directly under the word
Oh,
spells.
I think we already reduced your movement.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say I can get to here.
Okay.
And I say, Erica, and he's heading towards her.
Yeah.
Erica, you're up.
Okay, we are booking it down the stairs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll go down here. And then pointing up towards the hand, not sure if anyone else can even see it. And it's like, that's gonna grab the tower and then move to the other side of Arthur.
Before you pass him by, because keeping in mind he did, because of the reversion, the bullet hadn't killed the second singer, so they're still singing normal.
Mm-hmm.
They're still empowering Riley, who has yet to dart up the way. As you move to Arthur, the two of you kind of look over in the direction of the singers, and they look over to you, and it's this very eerie moment of calm in the scene where both of their faces shift very quickly to look like your faces. It's like Erica and Arthur are standing next to each other, looking at you two. And then one of them reaches down towards like a mechanic's bag and pulls out something and holds it up to its face. It's just a wrench, but it's holding it like it was looking at it as if it were a mirror.
What?
This would be the Erica double.
Yeah. She'll touch the pocket that she put the mirror into.
Okay, it's there.
Yeah. And then look at Arthur. I think they want us to look into it.
That is my weakness. That is my weakness, child.
You just mentioned his drug.
I know, right?
I love looking at myself. If you want to take a second.
I think she'll just like keep her hand on it, but then that's it for that turn.
Okay.
Maybe. It's very tempting though.
All right. It'll go to the zombies who continue their singing, despite now having shifted features. Arnie, you saw what happened. You see the hand descending. You realize that something very strange is happening here. And every time you mess with these batteries, it seems to be messing with you and messing with your allies. You've seen your friends die, and now you've seen yourself die in horrific fashions when you're messing with this battery. And then we pause. Because I told you overriding it is a very different thing than what I expected. And now here comes the fuckery. The hand that you see descending is attached to an arm. And that arm is attached to a person. And as this moment beat steps to it, and we see it becoming more prominent in the sky, we realize that this is just a very massive rendition of a human being that has been twisted by eldritch magic. The individual we see in the sky, Arnie, appears to be Henry Fitzgerald, like the one you saw from the dream.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Plot twist.
And based on the hand's positioning, it looks like it's going to just flatten the antenna with its palm.
You don't know what to do then. And just to be sure here, something happened, so it's okay. So I really don't know what to do. I asked Stan, what should I do?
That's not fair, first of all.
Hey, I asked you for help before. I mean, you have to be seeing this stuff too, so. It goes back every time I hit the button. What should I do? Should I hit it again before it hits the tower?
The hand hasn't been going back, though, right? The hand is sort of like steady beyond this, or no?
So the hand seems to be given freedom every time this battery is either turned off or has been broken. It seems to have been given a great amount of liberty in the last time that it was broken.
So then we should keep the battery on?
If the hand is the problem, yeah. The hand being attached to Henry Fitzgerald. A gigantic, slightly eldritch Henry Fitzgerald.
That seems bad to me. Yeah.
If that's the villain for you, then you want to stop it. And if you think stopping it means leaving the battery on, then you should do that.
Just out of character.
Sure,
I'm
feel
like
free.
trying to make sense of all. I'm theorycraft.
Absolutely. If
I
you want to take a
mean,
beat,
like, okay,
we're doing great on time.
is the whole world of the game inside of Arthur's mind or body, and then Henry is reaching down, like to from to try to wake him up or something like that. You know, it sounds like at the end of the last game, Arthur was hurt by bad Arthur who took his place, and he was in hiding, and something must have happened to him, and Henry was tending him. Has all kinds of time passed?
So what I can
Are we living?
what I can tell you, what I can tell you, just to help you.
Give me a thumbs
Can
up.
I throw a guess out?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think other Arthurs are failures. I think you're the chance that Henry intends to fix things.
How does he have contact with the other Arthurs, though?
I don't know. He built a time machine battery.
Okay.
Or he funded one.
Maybe.
Money's the answer. John, go on with your.
I was going to say, you're going to make guesses.
Sure.
And some of them will be very engaging for me and entertaining, but I cannot tell you until it reveals. So
okay,
you
that's
can
fine.
theorycraft all you like, and if it helps you kind of get through this beat, so much the better. But
I'll put my Henry bias on the table right now.
Henry is a cool guy.
I think this is his attempt to correct things from beyond our understanding, beyond our rationale at this moment in this situation. He somehow has some kind of control within his guidance. I think he wants that broken. We don't need him to do it. We can do it ourselves. I don't know if that's right whatsoever.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't see us doing a lot of damage to the hand. Go ahead, Jody.
So then push the button and hold it as long as I can?
I don't know if I hold it as long as you can, but...
I mean, he says as soon as it goes down, it re-ups. So I don't think it would matter. But let's try to push the button a bunch of times.
Okay. You're pressing the button. Got it. You're also... I want to make sure that it's clear. This might benefit you. You are literally in the last stage of performing the mechanical repair that you've already paid for to break it.
Oh!
So
then yeah, break it.
I'm
sorry, continue to break it.
You can not only break it, but you can also turn it off. So it won't overload. It'll just be broken and off.
Let's do that.
So
that sounds way better.
You'd have to tell Stan, turn it off. But yeah,
turn it off, Stan, when I'm breaking this.
If you want to blow it up, overload. If you want to break it and turn it off, like turn it off and then break it effectively, that's obviously going to yield a different result. So that's the third option here that we haven't done. I want to make sure that
we haven't tried that yet. So yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
That one, yeah.
Riley, you still have Eldritch Empowerment. If you wish to rush up to the top and hit the power box again, you can.
I'm doing it.
Whoosh! Green light, yellow light, flip.
Flipping it up.
You watch as the hand stops. Almost as if something like grabbed it at the wrist. And you see it pulled back up. And the fingers kind of break outwards a bit as it kind of pulls away. Those of you who are kind of looking straight up at it can see the face of the Eldritch Henry Fitzgerald kind of agonized as he's attempting to strain to push. Riley, done. Stan, do you hit the button as asked by Arnie?
Yeah, I want to shoot things, but yeah.
Okay. I will
I'll
say
flip
that
the
pushing
switch.
a,
I'll flip the giant Frankenstein
I'll
switch
say that
because I
hitting the
like
switch-
that idea better.
hitting the switch is kind of just like an elbow thing since it's already been lifted up, and then you can just drop
Sure.
over the thing and like da 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 da.
Hell yeah.
Okay, which one do you want to shoot? The Erica one or the Arthur one?
I'm going to roll a dice because I'm not going to be that guy that chooses which doppelganger.
You're the kind of guy who's
Odds
like,
Erica.
if a firing squad, load everybody's guns with
Erica.
blanks except one person. Which is
Did I
kind
get
of-
that luck? Did I get that luck back?
Yeah, I'll say it's fine.
Okay, I spend it again.
That's way too much of a coincidence. That's
Weird, right?
That's
It's like-
hilarious.
It's like I somehow eldritchly warped actual reality.
Oh, that's way less damage though.
That's fine. I'm
Only
gonna
six.
keep the shot as it was. It does the
Cool
exact
beans.
same thing. Because
Or
again,
6 gel
you roll-
down the spinal column.
yeah, you roll the exact same result. There's no way that
That's
didn't do
nuts.
the exact same thing. Okay, bottom of the initiative. The thing shuts off. Brent, Riley's staring at the power box. The green lights are flared. Beautiful, nice. They go cold. No lights. No red, no yellow, no nothing. You hear a crack above you as the fingers all and push downwards again. Arthur will discuss here in a moment, but those of you who are on top of the power station or the control station, you watch as the massive hand hits the tower and pushes it down like a Coke can, effectively, just straight down.
Spring check to stop it.
Brent, you are going to be falling at a pretty high velocity here. I don't
Classic.
know. I
He
don't know
put
how
all those
Call of
points
Cthulhu-
into speed.
I'm not killing you
Yeah.
outright because we're not in the reset mode, and I don't feel comfortable just ending you without giving you a chance for survival. So we're gonna figure out how falling damage works.
Hey, hold on, I'm looking.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. You're the best.
I'm so fast. Can I just run down the arm?
It
Run
was,
down the
it was
air?
just for that last turn.
Oh,
Aww.
gotcha. Can I hold on to the arm?
We're gonna figure
'Cause I
out.
imagine I'm falling next to it.
We're gonna have some options here.
Um, 1d6 for soft ground, like grass or dirt, or 1d10 for concrete for every 10 feet of freefall.
We're gonna go with soft dirt. So 1d6, and it is how
Per
tall?
10 feet.
How tall did I say it was? 70 feet, right, at the top.
Oh, jeez.
Said 40 to the platform.
40 to the platform.
Yeah.
Or
70
20 to the
70
platform.
from the platform. 110 total. Sorry, that's what it was. So 6d or the 110d6. I don't know how math works. Let's just roll
You
it.
said 110 feet?
110. So it'd be 11.
11d6.
All right, let's go
Oh,
with.
jeez.
How many hit points do you have, Riley?
14.
Well, that's all
See
of them.
some wads.
Yeah.
You're
Dang it.
jelly. You're
That's
the
all of
jelly
them
now.
twice.
Okay.
I am a man.
I again presume that you would try to jump from it. So this is the damage you would take if you fell. You said you were trying to grab onto the hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and let you make a brawl roll. See if you can't grapple it.
Like, I need this roll more than anything in my life right now.
Yeah, it would have been smart to
I
switch your luck.
definitely didn't get it.
Damn it.
Ooh. Owie.
Yeah, and even with the 40
Let's
luck that you spent,
Push.
you still wouldn't have got it. So yeah, you fall,
push bonus.
and Erica, as you saw before, he falls from above, but this time a little bit more pushed away from the space. So he kind of
Mhm.
like hits in between the tower and the fence, and hits the grass. It's kind of like a nice wet thunk.
Yeah.
Riley appears to have died on impact.
Oh, jeez.
You know, it's probably for the best. It's probably what he wanted.
I'm sorry you keep dying in the ending of these, Brent. I assure you, when we get to case 3, you will be the hero, okay? No matter what.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Wait, he's not the
Timestamp.
hero?
That's
Him
right.
falling
Get a
didn't
clip
save
of
us
this. Get a
all?
clip of this. Get a clip.
He ate people and tried to steal things.
Right. But I mean, we'll discuss more after. But Arthur,
Just
during
saying.
Yeah.
your initiative, the hand crush all the way down just smashes the entirety of the tower. Your vision flashes again. You're no longer here. You are in a bed. Arthur is wounded, old and wounded. All of the memories from the first case flash through. Memories in between start to fill in the gaps.
In between, meaning the current memories of what's happening now.
This vision that you're seeing of a different Arthur than you are playing in this case, and the Arthur you played in case 1. So this different Arthur is a future version of that Arthur, is a fair way of saying it. You fill in the gaps. In your idea of it, the Pinkertons took over the town of Byko. They took over the town of Byko, but were assisted in their research of the town of Byko by one Arthur Haynes. Not you, the intruder. In their assistance, they were able to create a gateway, a perfect gateway for the intruders to enter into the world without the necessity of taking over another, or seeing another, or being one with another. Arthur learned in his study, the real Arthur, you, and now you, know that the intruders come from a space beyond, a world outside of the world, a void space that exists between reality and a reflection of it. These creatures are horrific eldritch horrors that desire nothing more than the torment of mortal minds and souls. Not for any sustenance or anything to that effect, simply because it grants them great pleasure. That is what these intruders are. Bodiless entities that wish to thrive in a material space for the sole purpose of causing pain and anguish to bodied people. In some cases, they take the form of others. They look like another. These have been called jellymen. These have been called intruders. These forms are able to copy the body of a person or completely take the body of a person who allows them to enter into them, or allows them to enter into the person. Then there are the lights. The lights are entities that wish to stop the void beings. They wish to make sure that all of those that are touched by the void beings, the intruders, are neutralized. Anyone who has seen them, anyone who has been around them, gone.
Mm-hmm.
They appear like ancient old eldritch horrors because they are that. They are the gatekeepers of the divide. And the last of these creatures, in essence, is the highest of them. One who has been barred for a long, long time. If you are familiar with Nyarlathotep, then you understand who this entity is. For those of you who are not aware of Nyarlathotep, it is a great old one in the Cthulhu mythos that is one of the outer gods, an alien being that in itself is a being that desires what we have. It is a great shapeshifter that wishes to take over what is. He's had several appearances throughout like Cthulhu backstory and is being utilized in my setting to be the impetus for this. The second Arthur Haynes, the intruder Arthur Haynes, the one that directed the Pinkertons to do this,
Mhm.
was that great old one.
Oh.
But that great old one was displaced. And you remember why. Because Bianca, because Henry came together once again to push this entity out of Byko. But it left its tendrils therein. Henry was able to call forth the lights. Henry was able to find ways to bring the lights forward with Arthur's assistance. He learned the means and the mediums of doing so. Most of the lore they got on how to do that came from a up-and-coming young teacher named Erica, who's very helpful in pushing the knowledge of these lights as being something other than evil. And Henry took purchase. This was what he felt that was needed. These creatures were trying to create a balance which was present before Arthur ruined it. However, Arthur listened more deeply to his younger students when he theory crafted with them, using that term just because it was more recently used, but when he spoke to them and tried to get an understanding from different perspectives. Also, in this world, he became slightly disconnected from Henry. He didn't feel that the balance was necessary. He felt that the knowledge was most important. And in this regard, he has failed a number of times. In the current vision of it, as you understand it, your body is broken and you lie in an expensive hospital at Mr. Fitzgerald's expense once again because you returned to the town of Byko where the Pinkertons built this device and you attempted to use it. You attempted to use it to bring forward these lights on your behalf to fight a war that they weren't trying to fight, to destroy Nyarlathotep, not to bind him. And you realize all of this as you snap into this vision, or this now reality, where Henry stands over you and he looks to you and he says, all is lost.
Is there no way to bind it now?
He has been left unchecked. You have allowed him great amounts of power. But I found a way. With help from Arnie and Erica, I found a way. Stan brought you back the way you currently look. It'll probably be another few months before you're ready to kick the tires again. Last time I told you I'd do anything to help you figure this out as long as we kept it controlled and measured. The second I removed my eyes from you to focus on my family, you went against my wishes.
Whoops.
I don't know what's going on with the town of Byko any longer. But I know that even though you are here, you are also there.
Because
Because Stan didn't bring you back.
wait, I don't understand, he says.
Well, Arthur Haynes. Don't you think it a bit strange? You didn't even look into the mirror. You couldn't have seen what you saw. It was a different place. When did that start? For someone who is so invested on how the spelling of a city should be, you seem to not care as much about the specifics. You were careless.
True.
It's still your problem to solve. And this form of you, I suppose, will have to suffice. But not for me. I believe our transactions, our business arrangement, concludes here.
Very well.
He turns, and the light coming from the door, very bright, catches him in silhouette. In that moment, your initiative concludes with nothing, because you're kind of just. And yeah, weirdly, we still exist in this space. Erica, you had rushed in. You're standing near Arthur. You're fiddling with the mirror in your pocket. The hand just smashed the tower near you, so you probably kind of
Yeah.
drop back to brace.
Um. I think she'd remove her hand from the mirror and grab Arthur and say, "We need to get out of here."
And lead him away.
Yeah.
Okay. The singing continues. Riley, you feel the bones in your body stitch back together. Your eyes flutter open. Your body is dead, but your mind is alive. You stare as the hand pulls up and away, and look as Arthur's being pulled away by Erica, your neck twisted against the dirt as your body has impacted there. You can just kind of see them in that stereotypical, like, you know, how they drop the camera and, like, you know, it's like that deal. That's what your vision line is like.
Okay.
Arnie, you're up. Again, not aware of the Riley nature at current. Um, what would you like to do? It looks like it's completely powered off and time didn't recycle.
Is the hand still there?
The hand is slowly extending upwards, like pulling back up. It came down very suddenly, so it's probably moving like a good velocity. And then when it crushed the tower, it's like kind of slowly kind of ecking back up.
Hmm.
I would want to get up and look out over the edge and see what I can see.
The two singers, the crushed
There's-
terrain.
Are the singers still singing?
Yep.
And they're both alive again.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, one of them's dead. One of them's dead. Only one.
Hell
single.
yes. Okay,
Sorry.
I wasn't
Oh,
sure.
that's
I
right,
wasn't
the
sure how many
Erica
times I got to
one
shoot one of them.
Just the one time. It just got to go through one time.
Can I try
Technically.
to shoot one of them?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go with just a good old. Oh wait, no. I'll do a grand. See how that works. Oh wait, nope,
Probably not.
nope. I'm
Okay.
not a shooter.
Riley, it's going to be a while before you're back to full strength.
Okay.
But
Just in his own head, Riley's thinking, because if that hand is, obviously some kind of mystical thing we don't know about, Riley is gonna be thinking in his head to the hand, take me with you.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's probably not gonna do anything, but he's doing it.
Arnie, a quick note too. Everything that Arthur has seen, I just want to make sure you're understanding. I did relay it the first time, but I want to make sure everything Arthur has seen, the vision of him, the fast track of his life, the understanding that there is an Arnie Johnson that is working for a Henry Fitzgerald somewhere, and this confusion, that's all clocking in your head.
Oh, okay.
You still have, yeah, sorry, you're still watching it on TV in your mind. I want to make sure that that's clear. So there hasn't been a connection as to where do I fit in, like what am I doing yet, which I'm sure you as a player are getting the vibes of a lot, and I apologize for that, but it is part intentional.
It's fine.
Okay, so that's hitting. I want to make sure that that's clear. That connectin is still present. You are still seeing it in TV.
Okay, yeah, I'm still seeing it, but trying to also move forward with bad guys.
Okay. Stan, you want to finish the last one?
I sure would like to try.
Go for it. Spend the luck.
Don't have the luck.
All right.
I am going to move towards the ladder, though.
Okay. Ladder's up there. Yep.
What kind of speed do I need to get to the bottom?
I would say it'd take you about 4 more spaces. So
You could
move.
just go down
Yeah,
the steps over here.
you can be at the base of the ladder with that jump. That's
Oh, I didn't even see the steps.
Yeah, you can just come around me and go down the steps.
The ladder will get you here. It's a bit faster. So
Yeah. I'll take the ladder.
okay, you'll be at the base of the ladder at that movement.
Good eye
Okay.
on the steps, though. That wasn't a bad idea. I don't know why they didn't clock for me.
Arthur, whatever he said snaps you back to this position. You're standing in a field. A massive Henry Fitzgerald's hand is rising up into the sky, looking like some strange eldritch horror. Like, it doesn't look just like Henry Fitzgerald. His fingers, like I mentioned, have like crazy amounts of digits. His face has like an almost kind of like elvish kind of look to it. Like, there's something.
Kaleidoscope, Henry.
Yeah, it's like, or like this just very ethereally kind of like alien version
Fun
of him.
mirror Henry.
Fun mirror Henry. Yeah.
Funhouse Fitzgerald.
Okay, so that's what I see.
Yeah, Erica's holding open the chain link fence and gesturing for you to come. She did say she was dragging you, but I assume since you were kind of glazed over, you kind of, and she just kind of pulled for a bit and then ran over and held the fence open to get you to come through.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
He looks really frazzled. He's like, he looks up at the hands. He says, "What the hell do you want out of me?" And he starts firing his gun up at the hand.
Okay. No need to roll. They all hit. You do
That's
see
a pretty big target.
You do see like it's a massive hand, right? And like so you've probably seen video of like you've seen movies of like a squib or anything like that, right? And so they're like these little pops of red that are appearing on the hand, and like an amount of blood that kind of falls, like it's hitting like raindrops, right? It does look like you are damaging the hand, but it doesn't look like the entity cares. And as you kind of see that happening and it looks down at you, the eyes kind of flash for a bit, and you recognize the eyes. They're your eyes.
Oh, fuck this thing!
Your action was shooting.
Stop messing with me.
You can still move if you want.
Are my hands hurt?
No.
Okay. I would then sort of shamble off after Erica, like really confused.
So I know this is a little off topic.
Yeah.
I just thought about it, but so what if the Arthur Haynes that's currently in the hospital bed is in Riley's body?
What?
He said this version of you.
Oh,
And he's in a hospital bed.
Oh,
yeah,
because they're just they're like throw Riley in because he's no, not correct.
Double switcheroo.
Okay, so Erica escaping, right? With Arthur. Arthur escaping.
Yeah. Fuck this place.
Stan
Fuck this whole thing.
escaping.
Providing cover. I'm waiting at the
Okay.
fence for Arnie to get down.
Okay. Arnie, you can go ahead and make a spot hidden check for me.
Oof.
Okay. I'll give Stan and Arthur a spot hidden check as well, just to flesh it out.
Okay, move away from combat.
Stan, as you kind of move
I am
around,
Eagle Eye Stanley.
you move around the building to give everybody cover, and Arthur, as you're moving over to it, the two of you kind of both track that Riley's laying on the ground, but it looks like he's still breathing.
Oh shit.
He fell 110 feet, and it looks like he's still breathing.
I don't trust that.
The initial thought that crossed my mind was put him down. I don't know why.
I mean,
I hate to see him suffer like that.
He needs to be
Uh,
double tapped.
I'd like look in horror that it's moving.
If I have movement
It's
remaining at the
moving.
end of my, well, there's still a jelly guy, right?
There's one singing, yeah.
Yeah, he's chilling.
I'll approach Riley.
Okay. If you kind of
I
skip that,
would have stopped here. I'm assuming these two made it through the fence.
Yeah.
after the shooting, you'll see the hand kind of shift to a finger pointing down, and then just drop suddenly and slam onto the last jelly man, splatting it.
Thank you.
Helpful.
As you pick up Riley and you start to move out, everybody sees the sky light up brightly with angels. You move out to the north side into the forest. You're retreating. I'm going to go ahead and move us to the larger map of Baiko. And at this point, you're effectively going to be pretty much where you started, right about there.
Mm.
The car is down at the antique shop. There are other avenues of escape here.
Can we kick the toys out of the way before we go?
Sure.
Do we want to?
And if they were keeping the lights out, are we? I don't know how we feel about the lights. I'm not
Lights
sure I fully
apparently are a
grasped the
good
conversation.
thing.
There was an indication that they were good or
Yep.
better. See, I'll kick a wagon down.
Break the circle. Break the circle.
Okay, you kick the circle, it breaks it. You start heading down the hill. I want to make sure that something is very, very clear at this point moving forward. We are close to the conclusion, but I want to make sure that we understand what happens here.
I reload all my weapons.
You reload all your weapons, of course.
Just in case they get funny ideas, that Gabriel.
Everything you understand about the town of Nelson is now about the town of Baiko. It is a 1-for-1 conversion, pretty much.
Mhm.
But the town of Nelson is now basically this Mendelian kind of effect that is not quite right. It's in your head as like maybe it is the town of Nelson, or
Mhm.
maybe it now is the town of Baiko. But this is very important. I asked you a very similar question at the beginning of last case, some of you, and you need to answer the question because it's very important moving forward into case 3 how that will progress. Brent, would Riley consider the town of Nelson being the correct name of this stupid town? Or would he consider the town of Baiko being correct? Thinking of it as a Berenstein kind of situation.
Given all of everything he's been through, he's going to assume, just because he's crazy now, that it is Baiko and Nelson was just some kind of alternate place that he went to.
Okay. Now, keeping in mind that now you would believe that's normal. That should be normal. Baiko is the name of this town.
Yeah.
Okay. But Nelson is something you consider having had existed and being some kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like pretty much just like a mind-boggling effect.
Chody. Arnie's
Still
position.
Nelson.
Still
always been
Nelson.
Nelson?
It's always been Nelson. I
I've
don't know
never heard of
why.
Bico.
And when we get to it, you'll see that the people in the local town are going to call it Bico. Everybody's calling it Bico. The signs say Bico. So these moments are going to be kind of like can't be right. It's always been Nelson.
We
Got it.
we have like a realization as we're leaving this place now, like where we're headed, or is this realization coming later?
This is going to be things that you'll see. Like when I say the town of Bico, or you come to the Bico Kroger, you're going to see it say, like the signage will say Bico. So I'm asking you
Okay.
how your character is locking in to
Gotcha.
determine how that'll move forward. But it's also, since we're kind of at the end of the campaign, it's also locking in answers for next case.
I was making sure we didn't have like an epiphany, and there wasn't.
Sure.
I was making sure we had proof of it and not some
Yeah. So
sudden realization.
you can go with like Nelson was some sort of alternate universe, like Brent had said with his character. You can have both names be something you understand, but you have to choose which one is real and which one is not.
Gotcha.
So Zach, asking you, Stan Dukes, what's his opinion on, or rather,
No,
what
he's
would his position
he's
be?
certain this was Nelson.
Nelson is the name of the town. It's always been Nelson. Elizabeth.
I think Erica would think that it should have been Nelson. Like she's pretty sure it was Nelson, but it must be Bico.
Okay.
Because she also remembers the books in the house that said Bico. So maybe there's just like a confusion.
Yep.
I mean,
And,
there's so much that's happened, so.
and what's great about this is Andy's already made his choice, so he doesn't actually have to choose. So, Andy, at the very beginning of the campaign of Case 1 with Arthur Haynes, you elected that Arkham is spelled with or without an H.
With.
Okay. And what was the truth of it in the world where Bico was the name of the place?
Without an H.
And Nelson?
Was the
With an
true
H.
name. Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Great. Correct. So we have an understanding of everybody's understanding of how reality works. Perfect. When
Yeah.
you get to the base of the hill, if you're heading towards the car, there would be signage once you kind of get into the vehicle and start moving, depending on where you're going, that this is the town of Bico. Your results, depending like how you feel about that, is up to you. But my main question is from that position, you would see that there are spaces in the trail where there are puffs, like kind of just patches of white dirt on the ground. Some of them with like hand axes nearby, all of them with torches nearby, still lit. It being winter, they're not really burning anything too drastically. Everything has kind of like a nice wet soddenness to it with the snows. But when you get to the bottom of the hill, like I said, you're getting into the car. There will be like this kind of strange, what the fuck is happening kind of signage situation. My question is it's primarily for Stan, but of course anyone can answer at your pleasure.
Is the fog still there?
Not as much. Great
Okay.
question.
I'm just curious.
I mean, it's still on the map. I get rid of it. maybe this will make Zach's computer go supercharged.
Yeah, we've been overdue.
Computer's like,
No,
just
there's
turns.
just a small fire.
Well, no,
Huh.
it becomes stronger because there's no longer the fog bogging it down.
Yeah.
I just finished downloading everything in the same moment.
Oh my god, I have all knowledge, every data. So you get to the car. The desire for you to abscond. Where would you like to go? Would you like to go to the Kroger and check in with the locals, or after what you've done here, understanding the situation, do you wish to progress out of here? Because it's nighttime, and you don't really have a place to sleep. It was a day trip, remember?
Right.
To be. I
Hmm.
think going back to the Kroger might be safe.
Yeah, I'm
in
going
theory.
Yeah, Arnie has he wants to stay. He won't leave. He's staying
Okay.
in the town.
Okay. Did you leave the radio on like open channel so it's still blaring, or was it turned off? It was turned off, right?
We were in kind of stealth mode for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, if we were in stealth mode, it would have.
I would assume we had it off
Would you have turned it back on during the trip down?
while we're walking through the
I think he would
forest.
try to check in with the people
Okay.
because he had his spiritual experience here. He feels like he belongs here. He's supposed to stay here.
I
He has a
forgot.
purpose now.
I
All th-
forgot you're like a messiah.
All 3 channels are static. Like they're not being utilized at current. There's no check-ins or
It's
anything.
almost like we ruined the radio tower. Us or someone.
I'm going to ask a question before we get to the car. I just want to make sure. Is there anything else anyone wants to do on the trip down the hill before we get to the car behind the antique shop?
I assume somebody's carrying me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of, yeah.
Strangely enough, Stan, after a fashion, Brent Riley seems a bit more like just solid. Like you feel like you could definitely jump off of his out of his arms and walk.
Yeah, once Riley feels like that, he'll start walking.
Okay.
Odd.
I think we should definitely leave this town because I assume out of character, I assume all of our characters heard did all of our characters see the Arthur talking to Henry in the
No.
hospital bed?
Arnie
No? Okay, never mind
and
then.
Arthur are the only people that currently have that.
Yeah.
Okay, then Riley's gonna be like, since there's no answer on the radio, I'm gonna assume the Angels already killed everybody there, and for us not to die, I think we should just leave.
Okay. So once you breach the forest line and can actually see the town, you see that there are car lights moving across the main strip. You also see that there are house lights in the houses. You come down the hill to the parking lot of the antique shop, behind the antique shop, and your car's still there. But the massive trash that was present there, it's not there. Looks like the dumpsters have been emptied. Very different than what you remember. Also, the windows aren't blotted out. It looks like they are nice and clean. And you can see the shiny antiques inside. The lights aren't on because it's late and the antique shop's not open.
That's a
Spooky.
thinker.
This is different.
Do we see any lights in houses on? What about the house that we went through and found all the stuff? We already passed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't driven there. It's a while back.
Correct.
Like you're talking about like the mansion.
The
I was
mansion.
talking about the white dust house. We already passed that.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that was in the.
that was inside. Yeah, you didn't
In
go
the
up
circle. Yeah,
because you had
we've
to
already
climb
passed
up to the
that.
second floor for sure. What you
Oh,
did,
sorry. Yeah.
what you did see is there were spots in between that house where you kind of jumped through, broke the circle, and then entered into the forest, where there were patches of white dirt or white dust on the ground next to like hand axes, kitchen knives, and torches.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I was saying I'm trying to find out where those people went and if any of
They
them are around.
they were
All the-
probably that white dust.
Yeah.
My guess, at least.
All the Beatniks lost broadcast.
Those beatniks.
They can beat it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop open the hatchback and put my weapons away so I don't look like an insane person.
I'll
A
put all the
bat,
weapons
shotgun,
I
a rifle. um, and I guess I'll just sort of wordlessly cruise down the main street towards the Kroger, just sort of taking in the surroundings. If it's
Looks
left to me to decide where to go.
it looks like what a Kroger would look like at 7 p.m. In a regular town, run of the mill
In 1951
in 1951.
or two,
While
I
we're
can't remember.
moving, I'm playing on the radios and also playing with the spirit box thing and seeing if I can get anything.
Nothing. spirit box thing.
The recorder that we
Oh,
had.
got it. Sorry. The first thing I thought of was something that they recorded with one of the devices you're talking about, the Divic,
Oh.
like from
Yeah.
Zach Bagans or whatever.
Zach Bagans.
All
Fuck
right,
that guy. He's the worst.
it's the spirit box, the Divic.
Oh, the like ghost hunter guy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
asshole.
Okay, I knew that name was familiar. I was like, who is that? I thought it was the guy from.
Well, I said Baggins. It
Oh my
could have
God.
been Lord of the Rings. So you go to the Kroger, you see it. It looks fine.
Hocus Pocus. That's it.
Nothing's happening. There are
Oh.
cars passing you
That's
on the
Zachary
road.
Binks.
Obviously not at a high volume or anything.
Right. But
Yeah,
actual small town traffic in
Yep.
the late evening.
correct. Small town winter traffic in a late
Right.
evening in the 50s.
But there is life going on. It seems like it's
Yep. No guns. No.
reasonably normal.
No National Guard shit. Nothing crazy.
There's no psycho hardcore dentist brandishing a rifle
Right.
across the street from the antique shop.
Correct.
Did we fix it?
think we did.
But it's still out there, right?
I don't know, but everything seems. It wasn't like this before. This is how it should be. But not how it was.
Roughly what time in the evening is it, John?
7:30, 8 o'clock.
Would the
Stuff's-
Kroger be open?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know 50s sensibilities on
50
closing a business.
hours of operation for the Kroger.
The 50s are closed.
Uh,
Let's say they're about to close. I just made it.
so it looks like they would have stayed open till about 8:30.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
we're just out.
Basically, people get off work, a few hours to shop.
Mhm.
Fair, reasonable. Just to sort of sate my curiosity, I'm gonna. Again, I'm not really voicing my thoughts. I'm just sort of putting the car in park in the lot, hopping out, walking into the Kroger,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna buy a quart of milk just to.
So yeah, when you go, you're like moving around. There's some faces you see that you are familiar with, like not like anybody you can name, but there are definitely people you
Right.
saw in the Kroger.
Some
before.
of the survivors
Right, the locals.
exist in this version of Kroger.
And I would say that
This
the
version of this
person, as you kind of like take the bottle of milk you're buying up to the register, you got your register lady and your bagger, right? So bagger, some young teenager, looks like someone you blew the leg off of, and
Say,
the lady is the mom of Chris.
Mm.
ma'am, not really looking to role play that. I'm just sort of.
Sure,
I'm still. I guess he's in shock.
I will say that
and processing that shock.
the conversation is short and there isn't really much to it, but she does seem to have like a look like she's trying to open up some sort of flirtation. She calls you honey, and like there definitely does seem to be like a flirtatious kind of position there. And she does ask the question, "Have we ever met?"
Can't say for sure. And I'll pay what 5 cents.
It's like fucking nothing, dude. It's the 50s, baby.
Fucking free.
Free.
God, this nation. Anyway,
15 cents. Oh, highway robbery.
Right. It was certainly
I'll
liberalism and not conservatism that caused.
Yeah.
I'll head back out towards the car and get in the driver's seat and just sort of
Yep.
sit there listening and
If
drink a pull of milk out of the bottle.
if you're kind of like
83 cents.
if you're kind of doing like a
That
quick
seems way higher than I'd expect.
you do like kind of a quick scan of the car, and I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I shot your car quite a bit.
Um.
There are a couple of scratches
Yeah,
on the back end.
there probably would have been a bullet hole or two.
Yep, and the back window is still knocked out from the chase, the car chase, when they were shooting at you. So all of
Okay.
the damage that the car suffered, it's still there. It's just when you drove past the dentist's house, there wasn't a crashed car with dead bodies in it. All of that never happened, or that's just not here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit and have a pull of milk. Maybe pass it to. I can't remember who was sitting shotgun. Was it Erica?
Erica, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Just sort of processing this and waiting for people to decide how to proceed.
Should we check the mansion?
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Oh, I just thought about it. Riley's gonna check and see if he has those other guys' wallets in his pocket still.
sure does.
Again.
Oh.
Okay.
The perfect crime.
Would Arthur know where he was being kept in bed and tended to?
All of your memories are present for both Arthur variants. So yes,
I would assume that would be in Arkham,
no, it's in New York City.
New York City. Oh shit, that's right.
New York City.
New York City.
I think this sure
Yeah,
was, yeah.
I'll drive us to the mansion and just sort of circle that cul-de-sac.
Okay. So you drive up that way. When you pass by the pathway that leads up to Pinkertown, there is a very large realtor sign that's been put up and done up as neat and nice as it can, and it shows several houses are currently up for sale. Your assumption is it's pretty much all the properties on top. It looks like some might have sold, but it definitely looks like that is the current case of it. A lot of new houses were created and evacuated and are being sold. When you pass by that and move to the hill that goes up to the house, um, there is no battle damage here. It looks like the houses are cold and quiet, but it does look like there are signs of life, lights and the like. Once you get up to the top, um, there really isn't anywhere for you to park unless you're like parking just kind of in the median of the circle. This is very much like a private drive.
Okay.
But you do see that the the manor house is present, but it doesn't look like it is currently occupied. It's like completely cold and dark.
Okay.
Get out.
Could I take a creative liberty and assume uh Stan has like a removable like
Yep,
flashing light he could put on top of the car?
sure.
I'll uh I'll park towards the center, throw that light on, leave the car running,
Okay. Got
and
some
I'd like to have a look at the house.
looky loos. Is anybody coming with him, or is anybody
Yep.
staying in the house or staying in the car?
I am, and I'm taking my detection material and stuff.
Okay.
I think
I
I'd
see the old
follow.
lady get some more food. It's working wonders.
Get patched up.
You get to the house. You move around to the front through the kind of brush and everything. It's still the same kind of clustered. As you look at the house, you can see that the windows aren't boarded up and the door isn't boarded up. But it does look like there is someone standing outside the house, just at the front door, almost as if they're waiting for someone. They appear to be a gentleman in silhouette. It looks like they might be wearing a suit. Um, and they are smoking a cigarette, which occasionally shows some of the features of their face, which are very. I guess the best way to describe them is like they look like a movie star, like a '50s movie star.
Hmm.
that the gate does look like it's ajar. It's not chained up like it was last time. And the house doesn't look like it is damaged or barred up like it was last time.
Walk up to him.
Yeah, I'll approach the gate. I'm going under the guise of like checking out a disturbance.
When he turns to face
Was
you,
the idea?
Riley, you realize that the lighting of the cigarette does seem to show like a shadow of a person, like the kind of just light features of a person. But when he faces you, he is completely like shadowed, like completely concealed in darkness. The only thing that stands out for him are his eyes. And you recognize those eyes. We have featured these eyes a few times in this campaign. They're Arthur's eyes.
Huh.
Spooky.
He says, an interesting twist of fate. I do thank you for your efforts, though you failed. Saying that directly to Riley.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
What brings you here?
We were on our way out, and the rest of the guys wanted to stop and say, "Yeah, I was just gonna see if the maid was cooking any more of that healing food."
Oh no, unfortunately, our services were no longer required.
Those cannibal vampires are pretty cool.
You know, I don't disagree.
This isn't our home anymore. This isn't where we belong.
Memory is a fickle thing, is it not?
I just I don't feel right in this place. I need to get back to where I was, where I'm supposed to be, where my family is. This isn't right.
Well, I do hope you the best in figuring out what is right. If you wish, I can take that feeling away from you forever. Especially for what you have done.
No, that's
What we've done.
The dark figure kind of turns to face Erica. Why, yes.
Arthur walks up behind Erica.
Why, yes, my dear, of course. Your machinations, your efforts against me. The lights are dying. In time, it will not matter. Your struggles will be thrashes against inevitable waves.
Angels are dying?
Angels.
Well,
oh, if
they
you
look
wish,
like angels.
if you wish to think of them as such, if that brings you some solace, angels, child, angels.
Arthur would say, "This is one of the great old ones." Stay managed to keep his presence here after we forced out the others.
I am simply here by proxy. This house, ever since its opening, has served me well. Do you remember, Arthur? When you let me through?
Young foolishness. I bear the scars.
Oh,
I'm not. We haven't given up in our efforts to close the gate.
more than you know. And in that moment, there's a flash, and you relive the agony of not only being torn apart by the first Arthur imposter, but also during your second conflict. You also then feel the pain of every single person in this last sequence's death in that moment. And I need you to make a sanity
He
roll.
falls to the ground and starts writhing around.
And
Sure.
I need you to make a sanity roll.
Oh no.
Can I intentionally fail it?
Do you want to?
I wouldn't go
All
that
right,
far.
all right.
Because your luck on sanity
I
rolls.
totally
There is.
failed it. I
Okay.
totally failed
So great.
He did that on purpose. You can't
it.
take that away from him.
It was his choice.
We got your back.
You know, that's a good play. That's a good play. Say you're gonna do it on intentionally, and then
I hope I fail.
yeah, perfect.
Ah.
So I'm so sorry, but you'll be losing a total of 12 points of sanity with this head. Because
Yeah, so that's a lot. So that's
also entangled
You're
in
criminally
this,
insane.
also
that is
entangled in this mix is also Erica seeing the Arthurverse, and now the understanding of what that is.
Mm.
That was Arthur's attempt to maintain sanity.
Yeah.
And then in this moment, it is being breached and shown for what it actually is: the fool's errand of an attempt to understand the eldritch might of a great old one and fight against it with powers he cannot understand. You realize now in this moment, Arthur Haynes, that every single twist of reality that has happened has been your fault. These are not time shifts. These are not alternate realities. You have rewritten reality with each mistake you have made to twist reality itself around you. All because of the power you unleashed in a house by looking into mirrors. And also all the other stuff that you've done that's been kind of kooky. But I will say, much more measured this campaign. Very well done. But
We didn't look into one mirror.
the
So I currently have indefinite insanity.
correct. And we have to roll, right?
Well, I mean,
Or we can pick.
I mean, so on losing a fifth or more of current sanity in one game day, the investigator becomes indefinitely insane. No investigator is simply able to shrug off this amount of sanity drain. A day in this instance is defined by the keeper. So like I go temporarily insane because I lost 5 or more,
Yep.
and then you can do like the bout of madness thing and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. So I am currently, because the compendium's kind of a mess. I want.
So I have the
Permanent insanity.
D10. So it's not permanent. It's indefinite.
I know, but in the
It's
permanent insanity, there's the indefinite insanity chart. Sorry.
oh yeah.
Sorry. The way it works in compendium is kind of silly.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
all right. So yeah, so surviving until dawn is a pretty good one. Just surviving the night is basically what's dependent on this. But at this point, you do not want to be here. You want to leave. The phobia that I am going to hit you with. Where are you? List of phobias.
Sample phobias.
I want a fear of shadows.
Ooh.
Or a fear of mirrors.
Let's look.
Oh, that would be so helpful.
Yeah,
It's like
honestly.
late. It's like late for it, but
Ooh,
that would be so
there
cool.
is a fear called E
Fear of mirrors.
S O
Esoptrophobia.
P.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah. T R.
So that is the one I'm going to hit you with. In this moment, too, for those of you who are watching, Arthur's rolling around on the ground. To his mind, due to revelations and pains, memories of pains he didn't actually suffer. Looking at him in this moment, it's more visceral. If anybody here is familiar with like Junji Ito's work, it's almost
Yes.
like Arthur Haynes just kind of breaks. Like the person just falls apart, like not into pieces or anything, but like it's literally him suffering those traumas at once, but in a sense that does not kill him. He just falls over, writhing in pain, to his idea, it is an imagined pain, and he's like desperately trying to claw away from him. But for what you see, it looks like he viscerally is suffering the actual agony his body is kind of mentally putting him through. The shadow figure, eyes kind of glaring and very cognizant of the space around him, just let Arthur kind of do that. I would say that since Riley was the one that was focused on him first, there's almost a sense of near the cigarette, like the mouth, you can see what looks like a grin.
Eh.
And just to make sure, like, I want to make sure, like, the painting of the specific individual is kind of present, so we know what we're kind of looking at. Okay. So Arthur's obviously in pain. What did the rest of you say?
Riley's still like this entire time. Riley's been just rattling on about the cannibal vampire, and it's coming up to the point where Riley's like, you can almost hear like the question come out of his mouth of, "Can I get one myself?"
Who just dropped?
It was me.
Oh no!
I cleared my throat and I opened an image,
Rip.
Oh, you looked okay.
and I wanted to respond to something in the Twitch chat.
Well, that was worth everything breaking. That's a good one. So you ask this individual what? What did you just ask?
If I can also get me a cannibal vampire made.
It's almost like the eyes become the most dismissing thing ever. Like you have never felt so just like put upon in this moment. And
Credit where it's due. You just annoyed a great old one.
I am really at a point where I'm really saddened about the rules of this specific engagement.
Oh, no.
So
I have no power here. I always have power over Arthur. What'd you get?
Yeah, Riley just he asks the question and then he sees the eyes and then he just keeps rattling on.
Just bully that avatar of a god.
Bully him with chaos.
That's crazy.
He starts mentioning the Danish and how good it was.
So Stan, Arthur looks like he's definitely in a state. Do you try to help him at all? You try and engage the mysterious
Yeah,
figure?
sorry. You said something had a grin to it.
Oh, that was for Riley specifically.
Okay.
The shadow figure that's standing before you, the kind of strange shadow Arthur thing, it was smiling, and Riley picked up on that when it caused Arthur to go into agony.
Gotcha.
I would
Eric?
add. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, Erica would bend down to try and help Arthur.
It does not stop you.
Yeah. Okay.
Stan, do you help with that?
Am I like picking up on the idea that this thing is causing Arthur
Oh, it very
problems?
much felt like when he said what he said to Arthur, "Oh, you have no idea," and then Arthur just like exploded. It was very much like the cause and effect.
Got it. Yeah, I'll stand between Arthur and Arthur. You lost. Beat it.
Well then, until next time. And he turns
Wait.
and moves towards the house. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I wanted to. He said that he would take away the memories and stuff. I would ask him. I don't want to lose the memories.
Wait,
I want to understand.
huh?
I said when I said that I was confused, I miss my family. I need to find out how to get home. This isn't where I'm supposed to belong. He said that
Oh,
I can take that away from you. And I said I don't want it to go away. I want to understand. I want to get back. I want help. I want understanding of what happened. I
well
might
then.
break my
It-
character here.
No.
I think
No.
understanding is why
This is-
Andy's in so much pain.
This is actually perfect. This is a great closer. Thank you, Shodi. Thank you for setting this up. Arthur racked with pain. Erica trying to help. Stan rushes forward and says, "You beat it. Get out of here." And Riley kind of like, asking a dumb question that was quickly dismissed. You kind of stop and say, "No, I don't want to forget everything, but I just want to get back to where I was." And he kind of stops as he's walking towards the house, looks over his shoulder, and says, with a smile that's kind of visible in the shadow, "Just keep watching then." In that moment, Arnie, you are not in the scene. You are watching this scene on a television set, and you are sitting in what appears to be a New York apartment or a New York room adjacent to like a hospital emergency room. And that's where we'll end case 2. Thanks for watching. Those that did, we'll end it there. Thank you. Oh my god, that was perfect. That was a good ending. All right. Have a good night.